Welcome mates, I am Bloodthirsty Lord, but you can call me Lordy, and today we are back once again in Predator Hunting Grounds. Within this video, we'll be teaching mates how to use the Predator Smart Disc and what possibilities you can gain from it, what are the benefits, and also the disadvantages and restrictions of this item when you're using it in your loadout in Predator Hunting Grounds against the enemy fire team. But before we do get into this video, make sure to hit that like button to show support towards the channel and hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with our content. I know majority of our viewers are watching our content, but they have not subscribed yet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So the Predator has an arsenal of weapons to utilize within this game. He can make a choice of what to take with him into his loadout when he jumps into the Predator hunting ground, and then begins his hunts against his prey. But sometimes taking the right equipment can help out quite a lot, and that item is the Smart Disc. The Predator can use this Smart Disc from many altitudes, from above in verticality, being on the treetops, or being below on ground, as he's behind some type of infrastructure, building, or tree, as he chucks his Smart Disc around that corner to hunt down his prey. The gameplay that you're seeing right now on your screens is from the trial weekend that we played on our Twitch livestream, so make sure to follow us on Twitch, so you'll be able to watch more of this when the game does launch. But as you begin to see, it is pretty hard to actually control the Smart Disc, because your whole scheme of how the movement of like redirecting it and giving the direction to the Smart Disc as it curves around corners is all inverted to the normal looking aspect when you go from left to left, right to right. In this case, it's the other way around since it's inverted. It also affects the direction of going up and down. That is also inverted, meaning that your left becomes your right becomes your left, your up becomes your down becomes your up. That's the idea. If you're on peaceful control, that's how it's going to work, and also on your mouse when you're playing on PC. So that is one restriction of the item, but that also becomes its learning curve, and once you completely understand it, you have to utilize it and get the outcomes necessary with this item. And the outcome that we are speaking of is completely executing one member of that team instantly with your Smart Disc. Or if it's able to go through multiple enemies at once, then you get a multi-kill. But it just one-shots them completely. There's no down state, so that is the best part. So if they get hit by another item, they'll usually go down, and a teammate can go revive them. In this case, they don't get that option. Once that Smart Disc touches them, it gets in contact with them, because it's such a hard item to use. But once you get the hang of it, and if it does touch them in any way possible, it will completely destroy them, execute them. Then they have to get reinforcement points from the fire team in order to revive them back or get them back into the game through a respawn. So it one-shots enemies and also seems to be a bit overpowered, but there's still more. So there's another aspect of this item that is, if it does hit any other object that isn't a person, then it'll get stuck there. So then you have to go retrieve that item. Same thing that happens with other items in this game. If you throw it, or if it's being thrown and hits something else that isn't a player, then it will get stuck in that object or that surface, and then you have to go there and actually pick it up. If you don't, then you won't be able to use that item for the rest of the game. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you're on the heat of the moment and you chuck it and then it doesn't hit the right target, it hits a tree, and then you have to go pick it up, that chance there is the chance that you're vulnerable because you're not using any items, and most likely the enemy team will try to aim you. Then you're forced into this play that may not give you the best outcome compared to using the Smart Disc from a range and hitting players and getting those kills quite quickly. So using the Smart Disc, it does also have a duration for the item. Once you're near the end, it will cancel. If it's in mid-air, that's great because it'll just come back to you like a boomerang and you can retrieve the item. If not, it'll be stuck onto a surface because maybe you hit something and then that duration is now completed and you have to go there manually to pick that item up. So that's something to keep in mind. If it's still in the air, you'll be able to retrieve it through a boomerang aspect. It comes back like a homing missile essentially towards yourself. So it's not that bad, but it's good because you're able to catch it and utilize it again. If it hits something else, then you have to go there, pick it up, which makes you vulnerable. That's always a bad thing. And one of the pro tips I want to say about this item is there's a velocity increase bar. Utilize that as much as possible. That'll make your disc move faster within the air and hopefully hit your target quicker. But it becomes harder to control. So the restriction is that your controls, when they're inverted, it becomes harder to move around because you've given it so much velocity to move in one direction, and it's going to try and do that. But once you've in that, you have to make sure that you're close enough to the target. If you're close enough, increase speed, so then you can most likely hit that target. Because sometimes if the Smart Disc is moving slowly towards them, they can just jump or move around and dodge it. So that's something to keep in mind. So there isn't too many restrictions on this item. It's more rewarding than it is unforgiving. So that's something to keep in mind because the only restriction is that your controls are inverted and then you have to retrieve the item if it hits a contact that isn't a player. The benefits of this item is that you can one-shot. It's pretty overpowered. You increase the movement speed of the item as it's going towards a target. Also be able to execute characters without them being in a down state, which is a great benefit when it comes to a game like this because it forces their fire team to delay themselves and go to a respawn point to hopefully respawn their team members. If they can't do that, most likely you've won as the Predator. And if you do miss the Smart Disc and it's still in the air, you can retrieve it as it comes back as a boomerang. So very rewarding item, and it's pretty much overpowered in my eyes at the moment until the game is released and maybe there's some changes there. But for now, I feel like it will stay the same until further notice. But mates, tell me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about the idea of me highlighting individual items when it comes to the Predator's loadout and see how good they are, how rewarding, how unforgiving, and what are the disadvantages of the item in general? Do you want to see more videos like this in this series? Tell me in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with our content. And that is all for this video. And as always, it is a pleasure to have you mates on the channel as we go through this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.